This is my Valentine. She'll be with us today. All right, so in honor of Valentine's, we're going to do some heart opening, chest opening, a little bit of upper back shoulder work. In Pilates, those shoulders are all about staying down and squeezed together while the ribs stay down. But we're just going to start nice and easy. We're going to bring that band loosely, holding it between your thumb and index finger. And as always, doing your best not to grip it too tightly. Try not to drop your wrists and especially not to cock them. Let's go to a slightly wider stance, abs in, give me the tiniest bend of the knee. So you're in a little baby plie. Bring that band in front of you. I want you to exhale, roll forward, pull your belly button in like you're doing a cat stretch. And then I want you to inhale, open up, pull back, let your ribs pop up, and imagine you're doing a cow. You can lift your chin. So we're going to exhale, round into that cat, and inhale, extend into that cow. So I stuck my booty out a little bit. Exhale, round into that cat. You can keep your knees bent and just do it like that, cow. Couple more, exhaling cat, and inhaling cow, either standing up or staying with bent knees, rounding cat. Inhale, cow, pull it out a little bit. I hope you're feeling a good sense of movement and openness through your chest, working those deltoids behind your shoulders, the back deltoid, the rear deltoid. Couple more here. Rounding cat, opening cow. Last time, rounded in your cat, open in your cow. And let's pull that down behind us. And notice if your hands are pitched forward, try and get them over your elbows and bring that down. Drop your elbows a little lower than your shoulder. Take a deep breath in, exhale. Ribs come in. Let's stand up in our Pilates posture, feet in parallel. Open your arms. So we're going to do, we'll call this a book closing, right? This will feel a lot better in a few minutes when we do it lying down. But every time you open, I want you to hold it for a brief second, squeeze, and check your ribs to see that they're still pulled down, right? So we're going to close the book, open the book. If it's uncomfortable on the back of your neck, you can bring it down behind your shoulders, just a slightly different angle. You find what works best for you. Give it that squeeze at the back. 2 more. Last time. Open it up and then stretch those arms straight, and you should feel a little bit of work going on now in those arms because you stretched those arms straight. With those straight arms, we're going to do the tiniest little circles here, teeny tiny circles, working those shoulders a little bit. Make sure the ribs are pulled down, the abs are in, you're standing tall, back of the neck is long. Now reverse your circles. Good, and back, first direction, and reverse one more time, and drop. Oh, that should have made you feel like you need to move your shoulders around a little bit, so let's do that. Maybe drop your ears side to side. Maybe do a little half roll, so your chin comes down and over to one side, and then down and over to the other. And then shoulders come up, back, and down, and dropping down your spine. And again, feel that opening across your heart. Feel that squeeze between your shoulder blades. All right, we're just going to do the tiniest bit of standing work. You won't need your bands for that. We're just going to do the really, really typical curtsy. So weight is on your right leg. You're going to take your left leg behind you and sit into the right leg, and then left leg out. Right? You can do this. You can add arm movement if you want, just sitting into it. Now, if you choose to do some arm movement, think about what we did already and allow those arms to open up your chest. Two more here. And on this last one, open it up and drop it down. I'm not going to do this side, but I want you to put your weight on your left leg, Pull your abs in, bring that left leg behind you, and bend that right knee slightly and back out, right? So the arms do the same, whatever you did on your other side. You are actually bending your knee. There you go, sit into it. Good. A few more here. Keep it going. Last two. And on this last one, open it up, stretch it out, shake those fingers. Let's bring that band with us. We're going to come to the back of the mat for a moment. Beautiful wide stance so we can bend our knees and get a lot of support here. Stick that tailbone out and tuck it under. So tailbone goes up and tuck it under, send it out, tuck it under. One more time, send it out, leave it there. And then I want you to tuck it under and pull the belly button in, and then tailbone out and belly button sags. Roll it in, stick it out, one more, roll it in and stick it out. Now you're going to tuck the tailbone under, pull the belly button in, round the rib cage and the shoulders, and then send all that out. And then round it off and send it out, and then add the head with it, cat-cow again, cat heart actually. You're opening up your heart when you stretch open here. One more time, round it and then extend it, and then pull your abs in. Find yourself down, flat back if you can, round and extend, round and extend. And then we're coming all the way down to a lying down position. As promised, we're going to do that book opening lying down. First, we're going to do it without the band. We'll add that band and then we'll turn it into an exercise. Arms up overhead for just a moment, and then bring them above you and pull your ribs in. Bring your arms out into a T position. So think about what we did already, stretching that chest open, opening up that heart, and then as you're ready, bring your legs in tabletop. We're going to let those knees drop all the way over to the left. Feel a beautiful opening across your chest. Then lift your right arm up. Bring it across the sky, close the book, tap your left hand. Then open that book up, feel that stretch again. And to make this easy, we'll lift the right leg up, follow it with the left leg, and then let them drop to the right. And again, we'll take a moment in this twist before we bring that left arm up and over, tap the right hand, open up to the left. One leg at a time, so we're being gentle to the body. Knees go to the left, right arm up and over, tap, reach, and back through center. So then you just start doing this with your own breathing, your own timing. If your legs separate, that's a little bit easier on your back. But if you want to do it with knees together, that's fine too. So as you open that chest, you should take a moment and feel that stretch across your chest. And one more time, both ways, take that moment to feel that stretch. Finish up on your second side, which should be your right. And then back through center, knees in tabletop. All right, this time we're going to turn it into an exercise, right? So legs are going to stay tabletop, arms out to a T. Let's start small. Name of the game, knees have to stay together and feet have to stay up here, not drop down. So knees go a little bit to the left, come back to center, go a little bit to the right. And then you can start playing with how far can my legs go, and I can still come up with my knees squeezed together, right? And I keep my toes up in the air, not drop down near my booty. And then come back to center once you're even. And then I want you to bring your hands to your heart. We call that namaskar position, but then reach those hands up in the air. So your fingers are pointing to a space on the ceiling. I want those fingers to stay there. So your arms are not going to go side to side. Push your shoulder blades down, pull your ribs in. Knees are going to try to go side to side without the arms moving. If you go too far, things fall apart. So don't go too far. It should be pretty small range of motion. Just a few more here for me, please. And then take a break. All right. Last thing, as promised, forgot we had these beautiful bands. We're going to add the bands to that opening and closing movement. So I'm going to bring that band behind my shoulders, and I want to have some tension on it, right? So when I open my arms in a T, there's some tension, knees stacked tabletop. And when I close the book, it'll be just a little bit different. Just a few more here. So just wanted you to feel this with the band, a little bit different. Beautiful. Come back through center. Put those feet on the ground. Slide that band back in front of you. And we're going to fold it in half. One hand is going to go through that fold, and then the other hand is going to hold on to the tail of the band. And then we're going to put those hands down on the ground, across, band is across our hips. Try to get all 10 fingers on the ground. Try and get your wrists on the ground, forearm, elbows, triceps, and shoulders. And then notice if your ribs popped up, pull them down and in. Inhale, let them pop up. Exhale, pull them down and in. One more time. Inhale, let them pop. Exhale, pull them in. And then press up in your bridge. Let your hands hover just above the ground and then tap down with your fingers. Hold for a moment. You should feel the back side of your arms working. Hips are still lifted. Let the arms lift an inch and push down. Push down. Keep going. Push down. 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 Almost there.
I'm in this unknown territory.
And hold that down. Relax those hips down. Take a deep breath in. This time, keep your hands on the ground as you lift the hips and push up against the band. Up against the band. Check and make sure all 10 fingers are on the ground. Wrists, if possible. Forearm, tricep, shoulders.
No, I don't think so.
And relax it down. And then we're going to do that one more time. We're going to try and do both at the same time. Deep breath in. Exhale, lift it up. As my hands push down, my hips push up. Down and up, down and up.
So she can stay with you. There was a pause. But I did thank her for everything she's done.
Yeah.
Because she's been above and beyond.
And relax.
She's been taking care of my mom.
Yep.
So now it's our turn.
I feel like I'm eavesdropping on someone's conversation.
What's that?
Our turn.
Okay.
So you didn't have anything to drink, did you?
No.
Somebody? Maybe somebody's eavesdropping on us. All right. So that was our bridge pose with the band. We're going to bring that band around behind our thighs this time. And we've still got it doubled up so we can really use this for strength. Feet are on the ground. We're going to hold on to it. And I want you to be pretty close. You know, your hands are pretty close to your thighs. Deep breath in. Bend your elbows. Use your biceps. Keep your chest open. Pull your belly button in. And see if you can do just a half roll up. And then back down again. Inhale. Exhale, half roll up. Inhale, hold at the top. Exhale, roll down. And then option, of course, to see if you could roll all the way up. Only if you want to, and that's something that works for you. If not, don't worry about it, right? So it can be halfway up, or it can be all the way up. If you are using that band, or because we're using that band, you can really focus on what's going on as you roll up and down. I notice that one side of my hip wants to come up sooner than the other. So I'm gonna use that band to try and help me be a little more symmetrical. Next time we come up, we're gonna come up, if you were only doing half roll-ups, then roll to your side and meet us up here. We're gonna sit up nice and tall, and then we're gonna bring that band behind us again, because, or actually, we're gonna bring it in front, sorry about that. That might have paved your chest, so we wanna open up again. So stretch those arms, you can bring those arms behind you, let those ribs pop up if you want. And then relax that down, shoulders back and down. All right. So tighten your grip a little bit, hands get a little closer together, maybe about shoulder width. Pull your shoulders back and down, give me a tiny little hinge, not way back here, just a little bit. Then bring your back arm overhead and your front arm is going to tap the ground. Inhale back to center, sit up tall, hinge back just a little bit and come back to center. Now, if you prefer, you just stay hinged back and just do the rotation. That's a little easier for if you have any vertebral issues, right? Instead of grinding down. If you want, you can come up every time, then hinge back, and then rotate as you hinge. Totally up to you. And then sit up for a second, nice and tall. This time, we're gonna bring those arms out to the side, we're gonna hinge back, and we're just gonna rotate, 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 rotate. Back arm stays open, front arm opens even farther. Band is basically coming across your chest. And relax. While you're up here, I want you to lasso your right foot by putting the band across the top of the foot and behind the arch, right? So you've lassoed your foot, then you're going to extend that leg up. It's going to be a one-legged roll down. So you're going to take your time, left knee is bent, rolling down a vertebra at a time. And then we can loosen that grip a little bit. Bring the band into your right hand, point the right toes. We're going to do leg circles here. So you're going to inhale to start your circle, exhale to finish it, and then reverse your circle. Take your left hand, put it on your left hip, and see if it's staying nice and quiet. That's the name of the game with these leg circles. This also gives you an opportunity to keep that chest pretty open. Just a few more here. If you have the flexibility, you're welcome to straighten out that left leg and flex through that heel. You can see if you can make bigger circles with your right leg. And then we're actually going to grab that and let the right elbow drop to the ground so the right leg hangs in space. If this feels too intense, bend that right knee a little bit. If your left hip came and rolled up in the air, see if you could roll the left hip back and yet let the right leg hang out. So both at the same time. Then reach over with the left hand, pull that leg back through center, let it drop to the left in space, bend it if you want, and right arm nice and open. So kind of like our open book posture, but with a twist, literally. Then back through center, you're going to de-lasso your right foot, put that foot on the ground, put your loop across the top of the left foot and then around behind, and then the band goes into your left leg. And again, we're going to try and keep the shoulder on the ground. We're going to try and keep the hip quiet, inhaling to start your circle, exhaling to finish it, being sure that you're reversing directions every time. You can make your circle bigger. You can straighten out that right leg. You can flex through that heel. And then we'll bend that left elbow, let the right leg or left leg hang in space. Feel free to bend the knee if you want. Pull that right hip back down. And then use the right hand, come back through center, turn the left toes in a little bit, let that hang in space, left arm open. So once again, getting that openness across the chest. As you come back through center, bend the right knee. We did a roll down with the right leg. Now we're going to do a roll up with the left leg. So tighten up on that grip and roll yourself up. Bend that knee and untangle, please. All right, you're gonna roll over onto your side, but before you do so, take your band behind your hamstrings, grab the loop with your back hand, and then grab the tails with that same hand and roll onto face knee. If your band is a little bit longer and it seems that it's slack, then just tighten it up, grab farther down on that, right? So we're going into our clam, waistline off the ground, heels together, and let's just pivot open. Rather than close all the way, I want you to push open a little more, and press, and press, and press. And relax for a moment. This time we're going to lead those knees down nice and low and lift the heels up in the air and do the same press open. And again, press open and open and open. Keep going. And relax, switch sides. So again, you're going to take that loop behind you, grab the folded part with your back hand, tighten up on that tail, knuckle down. I forgot to say that, but hopefully you didn't have your hand up in space. Waistline is lifted and we pivot open. And pivot open, and more, and more. Good. Take a quick break with those heels up, pivot open and press open more and more. Keep going. Almost there. All right, as you come back through center, I want you to roll over onto your abs, have your band draped across your sacrum. You're going to reach around with your hands so that your palms are facing the ceiling, all 10 toes on the ground. Be strong in your lower body by lifting the knees. And then the first thing we always do is lift the shoulders, squeeze them together, drop them, lift them, drop them, lift them. Center your head if you can, once you know what I'm doing. 2 more. And then lift and squeeze. Reach your hands down your hamstrings, lift your upper body, and then press out on the band. Nod your head yes. So again, we're opening up that chest, just a little more challenge this time. Even more, rotate your palms to face each other, thumbs come into the band, pinkies face the ceiling, and then down. Inhale, shoulders squeeze up, we lift up, kneecaps are lifted, belly button is pulled in, head in line, lift the arms, stretch them down, rotate the pinky to the sky. So you can do that all in one motion. Last time, hold it up, reach and stretch, and relax. You're going to press back, let your hips sit back on your heels. I'm not doing that, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. Shell stretch, child's pose, prayer pose from yoga. Just take a moment, sit on back on those hips, please. And then bring that band around behind you, across your shoulders, under your armpits, and then hold it between your index finger and your thumb. Then you're going to come down onto your forearms. Bring your head in line with your spine. Have tension, right? So I'm not slack. My pinkies are on the ground. First thing I'm going to do is push back against that band. I'm going to nod my head yes. I'm going to roll my shoulders out of my ears. I'm going to press into the elbows to lift, so I have space between my ears and shoulders. Then instead of pressing that collarbone forward, I'm going to pull it back. I'm going to pull my sternum back and my ribs. So now I'm starting at a pre-plank. Then I'm going to pull my belly button in, and then I'm going to lift my hips. So I'm in that pre-plank position. Option to stay there or roll onto the fronts of your thighs. And finally, option to tuck your toes and come into your plank. Wherever you are now going to push up against the band. And I don't mean move your hips and lift and lower. I mean just against the band, shoulder movement, tiny shoulder movement, tiny shoulder movement, tiny shoulder movement. Press and press. Make it even smaller. So it's just working that upper back area, and you should really feel this intensify your plank by the way also. Couple more, and then relax. And you can either lie on your tummy and windshield wiper your legs side to side. You can press back in our shell stretch resting position. All right, and then come on back over seated position. Bring that band behind you and allow yourself to roll down a vertebra at a time. You're going to take that band around the tops of both feet and then around behind your arches. And lift up those legs. All right. So we're going to be rocking to start with. So kind of tighten up a little bit on your grip, roll your shoulders, let your legs take your time, let your legs lift you up, come to the top, give me a little bit of lift through those shoulders like that. And then as you come down, you roll down, notice again, try and make this as symmetrical as possible and come down and inhale at the bottom. If you want, take the ends of the band, pull open. And then again, use those legs to help you leverage yourself up and inhale at the top. And then take your time on the way down, bring your legs up, open your arms. So we're just rolling at this point, rocking, right? You can be choked up on those bands or you can have a looser grip, totally up to you. A few more here. And then this time when you come down, I want you to stay there. We're going to do the exact opposite. We're going right for it. So I want you to choke up on the band. This time, my legs are going to help lift me up, but no, wait, sorry. Sorry, my legs are not going to help lift me up. So I told you I was out of practice. This time, everything comes up at the same time into that V position, and then everything goes down at the same time for teaser. If you know that's a disaster for you, right? Then instead, keep your legs down and maybe lift your upper body. Or keep your upper body up and maybe lift and lower your legs, right? Both at the same time is awesome. If that's not loving up on your body, then don't worry about it. So you're going to do 4 more like that for me, please. And then on that very last one, I want you to hold it via arms extend, chest lifts. Open that chest as much as you feel like you can, holding, looks good. And then make your way back down again, please. All righty.
Nutmeg looks like a giant.
What?
Nutmeg looks giant.
Well, she's a big fluffy girl. All right, we're gonna bring that band behind our left leg, and we're actually gonna have it straight for now. You can kind of play with that if you prefer to go a different way, you can have it in tabletop. Your right leg is gonna also be extended up. And then we're gonna exhale, we're gonna stretch that left leg to the sky, reach through the right toes, or that left leg's in tabletop, and we're pulling ourselves up and down. So this is single leg pull, right? So I lift myself up, I stretch my other leg. Couple more here on this side. And again, that left leg can be up if you prefer, and then relax. We're gonna do the same thing, right side. So that band is behind your right leg. And again, you can have it tabletop or you can have extended. You pull yourself up, you reach to the opposite leg. You pull and reach and pull and reach. If this is bugging your neck, you can just do the pull on right leg, stretch through left leg. Couple more here, please. And relax. Beautiful. All right. We're going to bring that band, we're going to fold it in half again. And we're just going to bring that right above us. Give me a little bit of tension on that band, shoulders roll out of your ears. Deep breath in, exhale, poke a hole in the ceiling with your fingers and reach the arms overhead and press out on the band. Now, if that bugs your shoulders, you can absolutely go back to single band. So when you press out, it's not as intense. Exhale down. You lift, you reach, you open. The other option is you don't go all the way up over your head like that. You just go, kind of a little bit into more of a V. Then when you're ready, you're going to add those legs in tabletop, lift up, and we turn this into double leg stretch, legs open as well. So we reach and come together. We reach and come together. Reach and come together. A few more, reach. And relax, both knees bend. Keep the band in your hands, but I want you to bring it behind you again. So it's going to go underneath your shoulders, right? So armpits-ish. And then again, grab it with both hands. All right, so you kind of lassoed your shoulders here. Take the hand that's facing me with the band and put the hand on the ground, but it's basically just your hand, right? So my elbow and my shoulder are lifted. The other side, I'm going to reach those fingers to the sky, and you may have to choke up on this a little bit. I'm going to use that band to help lift myself up. So I'm rotating, looking at the camera, shoulder off the ground, elbow off the ground, and then back through center. Put the back hand down, lift the front hand towards the ceiling, use it to lift yourself up. So you can play with, gosh, how tight can I go on that band? And actually use the band to help lift myself up. And it's just rotating. You're doing your best to get the elbow off the ground and get the shoulder off the ground. Good. I want you to try 4 more to each side. So that's 8 moves, please. And when you've done that very last one, just take a little break. Maybe bring your knees into your chest, have your band handy. We're going to lasso the right foot, and you have the option, as always, to put the band the length of the foot for a little more intensity in your stretching. You're going to press that leg to the sky, And you're gonna push the toes up, ball of the foot and the heel, and then pull the toes back. Ball of the foot presses to the sky, heel presses. So just play with that, really articulating through that foot, getting a little bit of pressure against the toes. You could turn the toes in and out to just get a little variation here. And then finally bring that into your right hand. We did this earlier, let that leg drop to the right, feel that opening across the inner thigh. You can use your left hand to push the left hip down if you want. Reach over, bring that back through center. You're gonna walk your way up the band, pull those toes back, lift yourself a little higher. We're gonna stay here for a few breaths. Think about bringing your nose towards your knee, intensifying this stretch a little. You can feel free to mobilize through that foot again. And then as you come down, straighten out your left leg. And once again, we'll let that right leg drop to the left, free in space. Nice opening across that hip. Bend the knee if that would feel better. I want you to really stretch that right arm open. You're going to go back, take that band off, and put the right leg next to the left. Pivot open in your figure 4 stretch. Reach around, thread your needle. Left leg without the band. We'll do some foot movement, just so you can notice the difference. And then finally, we crisscross knee over knee. Knees come a little bit to the left, arms into a T, and we'll drop left. Back through center, let's uncross. Let's lasso the left foot either safely with the across the front and then behind you, or length of the band if that feels good to you. And then again, we'll play with those toes, right? Pulling back on the toes, pressing that heel to the sky. Getting mobility through all those little muscles in your feet. And then dropping that left elbow to the side, left leg hangs in space. Reaching around, bringing it back through center. We're going to choke up and get closer. And again, we can play with those toes and that foot if you want a little bit, staying high in the air. Stretch out that right leg as the left leg comes to the right, hanging out in space, big stretch. Feel free to bend it if that would be better. Try and get that left shoulder close to the ground so we're still opening that chest. And then as you come back through center, left foot on the outside of the right leg, we pivot open. We lift up. We're going to point and flex on this side. And then crisscross and drop to the right. As you feel ready, mosey your way back through center, and however you want to get there, you'll meet me on your hands and knees for cat heart. So exhaling into your cat stretch, really feeling that rounding to the sky, and then exaggerate that heart, tailbone up, shoulders slide down, chest lift, boom, boom, boom. Exhale, round into your cat. And inhale, open up into your heart. Boom, boom. One more time, cat. And heart. From that heart position, press it up. Feel free to cuddle out your heels if that would feel good. And then we'll meet in that little bent knee position for another cat. Another heart. Hands to your heart. Make a little heart. Bring it up. Happy heart day.